Good morning. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. I think we have most of the registrants are signed on by now. I know it always takes folks a minute or two to join these webinars, but we hope they'll join us shortly. I want to welcome you all to another United Rehabilitation Services Town Hall. This is our opportunity to come to you and share some updates as to the progress we're making in overcoming the COVID-19 pandemic and really moving forward again. I want to encourage you that you can use the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen to chat any questions you have, and we'll provide an opportunity for some Q&A at the end of this. But in the meantime, we will go ahead and get started. You know, I want to say, first of all, that we're very pleased that, we feel like we have made a lot of progress. We did a short 2-year strategic plan for 2021 and 2022. And after the first quarter, I think we're already showing some progress and moving towards some of the goals that we really feel strongly about accomplishing. We have made a huge commitment to the individuals we serve, keeping them safe and healthy, and to support them and their families, as always, as part of our vision statement. It's not just about the people who walk through our doors every day, but it's about their families and how do we help them become better integrated and more active participants in their community around them. We're very happy to be able to report that about 90% of our staff have now been vaccinated, and about 70% of our adult clients who attend have also been vaccinated. And now that we're hearing that Pfizer and possibly other manufacturers of vaccines will be getting approval for down to age 12, I think that offers a lot of hope for the future. We're pleased a lot of our families have also been getting vaccinated as well, which is going to ensure the safety of everyone down the road. When we look at where we're at right now, a big challenge, although we're nonprofit, we're like any other employer. And a big challenge we're facing right now is recruiting really qualified staff to help us in terms of providing day-to-day care and support and education services for the individuals we serve, whether that's for summer camp or day-to-day care and childcare or adult day programming, job coaches, and even summer youth staff. We have a summer youth program providing work experiences and career exploration for young people with disabilities still in high school. So we're facing the same challenges as any other employer, and we are happy to say we've added a few new staff lately, but we still have a ways to go. But we're very pleased with the progress again, and we are happy to be able to say that we're now at about 55, almost 60% enrolled in our child care program. We had suspended our before and after school latchkey program some time ago, back in November, because of the risk that was posed by those individuals coming here in the morning and then going off to various sundry schools, exposed to a lot of other people, drivers, teachers, schoolmates, and then coming back in the afternoon to be in a group along with other individuals. And we just felt that the risks were just much too high. So we will be restarting our latchkey program with summer camp full-time, effective June the 10th. So we're very happy to report that that is going to be open. However, instead of 36 young people, we're probably going to be limited to about 16 because of the need to keep people in isolated cohorts. I would say that as far as childcare is concerned, we feel very positive about the fact that we've been able to renew our Get Set for School program in the classroom. With so many staff being vaccinated, with the ultraviolet C-lamp system that we've installed in all 15 of our heating, ventilation, and air conditioning units on the roof, that we feel comfortable that that is killing so many of the viruses, germs, bacteria. It is safe for the therapists to return to the classroom. We have not brought volunteers back into the classroom at this point or at any part of the building. Our therapy program is working very hard. We have about 115 individuals we're serving on an outpatient basis. So in addition to Get Set for School in the classroom, where the occupational therapists are providing incredible support to the individuals with disabilities as they master the skills necessary for literacy and kindergarten readiness. But they are also doing a lot of great work in our traditional clinic, as well as still continuing to provide telehealth therapy services for a number of individuals whose underlying health conditions simply place them at too great of a risk to be out in the community and in a group setting at all. As far as adult services, we're pleased to say again that 70% of the adults we serve have been vaccinated. But we're also happy to say that we've been able to actually start growing those numbers a little bit. The state went from restricting us to no more than 8 individuals in a room to increasing that to 12, but we're still operating at about 40% of our normal capacity, serving about 55 individuals at this time. Almost all of those are full-time, but we really are accustomed to having 135 to 140 people in this building every day just for adult services. So we have a long way to go to get back to where we need to be. And as I mentioned before with the youth, we have to keep these individuals in separate cohorts, separate groups throughout the day. So neither they nor their staff are able to be integrated with any other groups in the building. You know, although we had worked very hard at getting our adults out into the community and providing them with enriching experiences out there every day, we have been restricted to keeping them in the building now and totally segregated from one another for quite some time. We are pleased to be able to report that we have returned our pre-vocational programming to participating in some activities in terms of volunteering at Crayons to Classrooms in a very safe environment. They're the only people in the room with one staff, along with proper PPE. We've done a lot of training on using personal protective equipment to make sure they know how to be safe in the community. We're also working on travel training so they can return to using the paratransit program and know to be able to socially distance, to use hand sanitizer, to wear those masks. So we're hoping to be able to help those folks get back out in the community more and more as time goes by. Our employment services program has also been out in the community. We've gotten about 40 people jobs already this year. And we're very excited to report that actually since the pandemic began, we've placed over 125 people on jobs. So there are jobs out there and employers are giving these individuals a chance and they are being greatly successful. If you look at the research and statistics that if you hire an individual with a disability, that is an individual who's going to appreciate the opportunity, who's going to reduce your turnover, who's going to be committed to you as an employer, and will do their utmost to be successful. And our job coaches can come into the workplace to support them in the training process so that the employer doesn't incur any additional expense or time to make sure that they have someone who's able to master all the skills necessary. So we're very happy about the progress we've made there as well. You know, I mentioned that we used to be able to go out in the community a lot, and we're happy to say that the Employment Services Program, our URS Academy, the new program is out there working with individuals who are ready to get to work in the next year or two, and with very specific goals that are vocationally focused. And we've actually partnered with the local Elks Lodge, as well as Boonshoff Museum of Discovery, including Sunwatch Village, where they can actually go out and perform real work in the community under the supervision of our job coaches and staff, so that we can help them to develop the skills needed to be out there in the real world of work. So everything is going great in that regard. We continue to provide a lot of enriching virtual experiences with exercise, self-advocacy classes. We've had UD music therapy, exercise, just a whole variety of activities that we've been able to bring into the program areas for adults, as well as lots of fun reading experiences for the children as part of the literacy program. So we are really excited that we can continue to do that. And we hope that we can continue to recruit volunteers to help us with our book clubs and with our various music and exercise programs. We were even able to bring in the ballet, the opera, the Philharmonic, and others as a result of grants that we were able to receive from local foundations that supported that. But I wanted to introduce someone to you today who can talk a little bit about how important United Rehabilitation Services has been to her and her son, Blake, who is actually the ambassador this year for our Rubber Duck Regatta, the 18th annual Rubber Duck Regatta to benefit kids and adults with disabilities here at URS is coming soon in September. And, we're really pleased that Blake is going to be our ambassador because I think he really represents what we are able to do and what people with disabilities are able to do in growing and developing and becoming more independent every day. So Angie, I'd like to have you take off, and if you can just share a few words with us.
Good morning. So Blake started with URS around October of 2019. When Blake first started, he was not walking, he was not feeding himself, he was not using a sippy cup. He was dependent a lot. And with the help of the staff between his teachers and his therapist, because he also attends all three therapies, the speech, OT, and physical therapy at URS. Blake obviously now walks. He feeds himself. He has used a sippy cup. He's just excelled so much since he started URS, and just the happiness that he has going to school or to, into URS. And as far as the family goes, Blake's accomplishments has obviously brought a lot of help to us at home, because between the therapists and the teachers, they've done a lot to help him, and it's taken a lot off us. And the fact that he's able to attend his therapies there at URS has been a godsend, because we used to have to take him, once a week for 3 types of therapy in one day, and it was just too much on him. So now that they can spread it out, it's a lot better for him. He's gained so much since he started URS, and it's definitely been a blessing for us.
Great. Well, thank you, Angie. I appreciate you sharing that. There are so many children like Blake that we've been able to support and their families. And as I mentioned before, our vision statement really talks about enhancing the quality of life for children and adults with disabilities or other special needs. But in our vision, we really talk about self-advocacy, community inclusion, and what can we do to support their families. And that's why we started our parent support group in the evenings with free dinner and free childcare, which will be starting up again in September. That's why we make the commitment to doing everything we can to make their lives easier. So it's always great to hear from the people who actually benefit from the services, how that's really impacted them and their children, whether they're young children or adult children. It's been a very challenging year, the past, 12, 15 months. And, last year we closed for a period of time. We reopened very gradually with a temporary pandemic childcare license. We were able to start growing our programs back in spite of the restrictions of the state. We were able to still provide meaningful services. But the road back has been very challenging, in terms of adult and youth services especially. It's going to be a matter of getting through 2021 and really going into our growth mode in 2022. Our overall revenue was down in 2020 by $1.4 million in program revenue. And we were only able to survive thanks to the generosity of many local individuals and foundations, as well as over $900,000 in federal, state, and local subsidies through the CARES Act. This year we've been able to obtain another PPP loan and working with our bank to secure that. We're working on employee retention credits, and we're finding ways to try and again sustain this organization and be prepared to move forward in the future. But we have a long way to go. Our mission is about serving people and changing lives. Our mission is not about securing subsidies. So we're very eager to get back on track with bringing people back in the door, providing services to those individuals and supporting them and their families. So we hope that you can join in and help us out. We continue to seek out volunteers. A lot of what we're doing with volunteer services right now continues to be outside of the building. So landscaping and supporting us and keeping our new nature path together, which we're still trying to finish the final pièce de résistance, the deck out there overlooking our pond. So if you can help with the all hands on deck campaign, we'd love that. You can find more information on our website at ursdayton.org. But there are also lots of other ways. As I mentioned, we have our book club. We have people who volunteer to play music for the kids, to read to them, and do all this virtually. So if you want to zoom in and share some of your talents with the individuals we serve, that would be absolutely fabulous. And, you know, as I mentioned before, Blake is the ambassador for the URS Rubber Duck Regatta. We are still seeking sponsorships through the end of May. So there's still time to sign up. Those sponsorships range from $1,000 to $4,000 with lots of media support that will come behind that. So we want you to get involved if you can. I want to make sure that you also know that you can always follow the link and again, text to support URS at 24365. That's 24365. And that'll take you to a direct link to donate and support URS. You put in the comments section if you want to support All Hands on Deck or the Rubber Duck Regatta or anything else. We do have a couple of questions that came in, and it says, as we enter warmer weather, how can the community help? Well, I think I've already talked about volunteers and gardening, mowing, weeding. If you'd like to spend a couple hours a week riding a lawn tractor out there, we're always looking for somebody to help. But if you can do a dance demonstration, I know lots of you have hidden talents, and we certainly would love for you to share those with our folks. You can also go to our Amazon wish list and make a contribution, donate items that are definitely needed, many of which are still needed to keep the classroom sanitized, but also lots of fun things for the clients to participate in. Here's another question. Has the pandemic increased the mental health challenges your clients face? Well, you know, social isolation is something that has indeed taken a toll on many of the individuals we serve. As I mentioned, we're still serving less than half of the individuals in our adult services program. A lot of them are at home with their families, which is great that they're able to do that. Some of them are still isolated in group homes and just simply not feeling safe to be out in the community because they're exposed every day to multiple individuals, both staff and other people they live with. And that does, in fact, take a toll. We've had a couple of individuals who came back to URS and were so excited. In fact, in my signature on my email, there's a story of Kane, who's a young guy who's been coming here since he was about 1.5 years. He's now 26, I think. And his mom tells the story of how social isolation had really taken a toll on him and the difference it made when he was able to come back and be with his friends and to be with the clients, as well as the staff who he cares about and who care about him. And that's really what it's all about. You know, you hear about the summer slide, how kids being out of school for the summer lose so much progress. We see the same thing in terms of skills developed for both young and older clients that we serve. So it's so important for us to be able to open up, to be able to serve more people. And as I said, as we continue to recruit individuals, as the restrictions due to COVID-19 are loosened up a little bit, as more and more people are vaccinated, we know we're going to get there. It's just a matter of time. But we thank you all for your support. We thank you for tuning in today to get a little update as to where we stand. I do encourage you, if you have any questions, certainly you can go to our website at www.ursdayton.org, or just simply give us a call. You can email me, call me, reach out. You can find my contact information on the website. But we certainly appreciate everyone who's made a difference in our lives to allow us to make a difference in so many others. Thank you.